Alright guys, haven't really posted lately on the car. The dash is back out and we've been battling a shortage issue somewhere, and this wasn't from something that I've done. The shortage had already happened prior to the swap. That's why my brother hadn't driven it in a few months or a month before I did the swap. I thought it was something simple. The problem is I am not seem to be getting any power to the main relay, in which it is not giving power to the ECU and then not giving power to the fuel pump to kick on. A few weeks ago I bypassed the main relay and jumped the wires for power ECU to fuel pump, whatever, and the car turned on. It sounded good, everything was cherry, but then it started smoking and I fried a ground wire. I don't know if you can see it right there, fully exposed. So still battling that. I removed the whole alarm system here to eliminate that process, or eliminate that headache from this clusterfuck right here at the bottom. But I'm gonna be working with the clutch. You can see here it is mounted upside down, and you can see why I did that. It's gonna be hitting the whatchamacallit, it's gonna be hitting up here if I was to flip it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it back. I'm gonna cut that top portion right there. I got the new ride wire brake line or clutch line, and I got the nylon braided hose, so now I can eliminate this rubber one. And so yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing today, or at least until the sun goes down. But such a headache. So here's the ride wire clutch line and my invoice. This is for a B series. This is about 55 inches long. He told me the fittings were the same. So radiator's gonna come back out. They're not clamped on yet. I'm gonna pull the radiator out so I can access the end fitting down there. Screw this into place. Now the reason why I got the B series one is because of the length, because I think these were all pre-made. I don't think you can order a custom length because it doesn't give you the option. But that should be long enough to go inside. It's going to be on a banjo fitting, and then this is going to come up to the front here, going to go in there. I like this line because it's nice and stealthy. But I went ahead and drained this into the transmission container. And then so I'm gonna shoot some brake cleaner in there to pressurize the rest of the fluid or whatever is in there out of the reservoir. And then I'm gonna stick that Honda container to the what is it, the inlet of the master, and pump that out of the cylinder so I can pull the line off. So that should be enough to drain the rest of it out. And then let me see here. Yeah, okay, so that should be good. Got some napkin in here. I'm gonna go ahead and I made a mistake. I have already taken off the goddamn bolt, so when I pump that shit's gonna move back and forth. So I'm gonna put this back on, pump it out, and pull the line off. Okay, so dash for line is in place. This is a banjo type end hose, so it's banjoed in place, if that makes any sense. With the bracket position, this hose was actually hitting the top portion of the firewall right here, and I took a 1/2 inch extension, put it right there, I whacked it a few times with my 16 ounce, and that pushed this section back a little bit. So now the reservoir, or the slave is flush to the bracket. The hose is now cleared, and I can actually just bolt everything back in. This went easier than expected. Banjo clears right here on the top. Should have at least tried this before I even put this in the first time. But the dash had to come off anyway, so it makes it a lot easier for me to kind of just do this. The only thing I'm worried about is this line. The barb on the master is pointing straight up, and this hose is not dummy flexible, but I'm afraid that, I know the way I'm going to be routing it, it may still sit too or kind of high, like so, or something like that. When I bolt it in place, it's going to be sitting, where is it at? Like right there. So it's going to be about right here, about this area here being the highest point of this hose, and I'm hoping the reservoir sits higher. Well, I can already see it, it does sit higher for sure. All right, so dash 3 line is in place here. You got the fucking master flipped, bolted down, rye wire, banjo style line is in place. The dash 3 is here in place. There's no kinks in the line. Probably gonna have to move the fuse box out of the way, but I think I'm gonna be pumping it by hand. Stock clutch, stock pressure plate, I think, so it shouldn't be hard to pump by hand. Got this water bottle with a hose in it on the bleeder valve. I'm gonna crack that open a little bit here because this is a one-man job at the moment. I did it in my wagon by myself, so I shouldn't have any issues, I don't think. I'm just gonna leave it open and just keep bleeding it until all the air comes out. Go ahead and fill this up, check for leaks, your unusual thing. So far, I've not. I didn't want to tie up the hose up on the reservoir too much because it's plastic. I don't want to break that shit, but so I'm gonna go ahead and just pump it up on there. So this process is gonna take forever. Actually, I'm gonna go close the valve, pump it all up in there first, and then, well, actually air's coming out of it, so it's working. So this is how I'm doing it, jerking off the pedal. Right, put that bar in place, come over here, watch all that bubble come out. Well, there's no more bubble because I already bled it like 20 million times. But you can hear the pedal drop. I don't know if the camera picked it up, but the pedal's getting a lot better. It's definitely got pressure. There's no leaks. No leaks up here. Oh yeah, pedal's feeling good. Oh, shake weight. Shake weight. So, as far as I can see, there's, seems to be a lot of bubbles in there. It just turned all white, god damn it. Always keep this full. Such a workout. I'm gonna go ahead and finish pumping this and then show you final results. Alright, so hopefully that moved because I couldn't see it. I just closed the cap. If I ever need to bleed it again, it's pretty accessible because it's a half core, so I can always reach around the half core to get to it. So yeah, we put the radiator and stuff back in, put the bolts, put the clamps on here, get that radiator in place, get the T-bar. Then now I can finally put the bumper back on after I wire up the fan, because obviously these two are different. And then that should clear up some space over there actually, so yeah. So I don't know if you guys noticed, for all those you commenting about I upload one video and then I disappear. Okay. And it's fucking 9:30 right now. And you know, I work full days, come home, pass out. I wake up and I try to force myself to get into the garage to do something. Today I did the clutch line and it's 100% fully functional now. And I'm glad for that. Happy for that. But this shows you, it is late at night and you know, I still got to clean up. I try to render and all that shit. It becomes late. And I've just been pushing everything off to the side to catch up on my sleep and take a little break from uploading the videos and stuff, because it really does take a lot of time and energy for myself. So I'm gonna ground this wire here. This is on continuity. That's ground. This is ground, valve cover. This is also ground, which goes to 8-pin. Okay. The fuse is popped. You can see it's red over there. I'm gonna change the fuse. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect the valve cover right here. Right. I changed the fuse. It's gonna be on voltage. Key is in the on position. And now voltage. Is reading almost 12 volts. 12 volts. So there's power that is shorted into this wire here, and then if I was to put it onto this wire, it blows the fuse out because this is ground. So this is all power, ground. Well, guys, it is Saturday and started recording kind of late here. You can see the sky is not that bright. But anyways, so I have not been recording anything because, I mean, the majority of the engine bay is done, right? So I got the bumper back on, radiators in place, hoses and everything down there is all fixed in place, fan is wired up. But yeah, so I have not been recording anything, obviously, after fixing the hydro conversion in the car. The dash was still off, and the reason why the dash was off is because I had a lot of wiring issues that I've been battling this last couple, I wouldn't say days, I would say at least like almost 2 weeks. So my issue I was having, I know it's kind of dark because the light is really not shining over here because the hood's on, open. So the issue I was having was when the key was in the on position, the check engine light wouldn't come on. And with the check engine light not coming on, obviously, that's already the first issue, right? So I'm battling this wiring issue using the voltmeter over there, trying to trace wires and find out why it's not working. The wire is fine. It has the, you know, correct reading as far as like ohms and stuff like that. But the light bulb, everything to the cluster is good. The wire to the cluster is good for the check engine light and all that. Honestly, I didn't know where to start. Main relay is not getting power. Power is not getting to ECU. ECU is not triggering the main relay to the fuel for the fuel to kick on. So after a long time of battling this wiring issue, I finally just went ahead and contacted Carlos from CJS Wiring, which is the guy I buy all my harnesses from. I'll link his website in the description below if you guys are looking for any custom harnesses and jumpers and all kinds of other, like, you know, cluster conversion harnesses and stuff like that, push starts. Anyways, so after speaking to him and then trying to figure out things like this, I don't know, it's so dark right now. This is a block off, you know, in a distribution block kind of thing. And the issue I was having was when I turned the car on, I'll send you, I'll put an image of it, but it's kind of dark right now. But there's a wire right here. You can see it right here on my finger. And I apologize for it being so dark. That's a fried wire. When the key was in the on position, it blew a ton of fuses, and then it fried that wire. Actually, let me turn it around here. You can see this wire right here is fried, right? So I changed all the fuses and stuff like that, pulled the ECU off, and still being in contact through text with Carlos to try and diagnose this issue. And the issue I was having was this wire right here, and all these grays are all ground. You can see right here, this one is snipped. This is the ground that goes to the valve cover, right? This goes to the valve cover, and this wire has like continuity, or not continuity, it had voltage through it, 11-12 voltage, and it's not supposed to, because that's ground, right? So my brother went ahead and cut it when I was at work, and it stopped blowing fuses. But then again, the car still didn't have the check engine light on, stuff like that. So I checked every single one of these wires with this cap off, because this is where the distribution happens. This cap comes off right here, and every single one of these wires had power. Now that's 100% incorrect, right? And not, you know, I'm not bashing nobody here. This is all great quality stuff. Sometimes when you just have a ton of order to get out, you're a one-man soldier, small stuff like this happens. And he told me to return the harness. I didn't want to return the harness because the supercharger had to come out, and it's just too much of a headache just because the wirings go under the supercharger. So he spent his time to sit here and help me diagnose this with everything in place and trace all these wires. And so today, finally, I was able to, well, I sent him a ton of pictures of all the plugs and all the ends so he can trace all the wires per his diagrams and make sure these pins are all in the correct home. Everything here was correct up until here. You see these wires are here. This is black. This one right here is black yellow. These two are switch. I think they're ignition or power or ground, some shit like that. I'm not going to get into details, but these two wires were switched, causing this wire, which goes to this guy, to have power, then distribute to these guys to have power. So I switched them around, put the new fuses in, put a new battery fuse in. I got check engine light. Oh wait, sorry, this is disconnected here. Put the phone down real quick. Now I'm gonna have to solder these back together now that they're the problem is now sorry, I'm gonna have to solder these wires back since now the problem has been solved. So that's ground to the valve cover. Now I got check engine light. Now the car turns on. Okay, so I spent pretty much just the rest of my day today to clean the interior of the car. You can see here the floor is all clean, wires all nicely tucked and you know, set at their homes. Pedal feels good here, feels a lot better than before. Still don't have any leaks showing here, so we seem to be golden there. Brakes, gas, my hybrid ass starter body with custom butterfly valve seems to be working really well. So tomorrow I'm gonna have to wire up the plug for the windshield wiper motor, and then reinstall the dashboard and pretty much everything attaching to that. I threw everything else in the back seat so I can sort it out tomorrow to see what's needed and what's not. Throw them in the storage bin or toss them. But I'm gonna cut this progress tonight because it is getting late. I haven't eaten anything all day. I will continue it tomorrow, so I can add more to this video just because today was more of a diagnostic day that I did not want to record. So yeah, carry it on to tomorrow.